My grandma said, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk.
If you were to just finish this sentence of, in 2028, I grew my business substantially over the last 2 years because I did what?
This is going to sound mean because I know some of your advisors are a little bit older, but if you're not implementing these efficiencies in your practice, you are a dinosaur, and AI is the meteor that's coming to kill you. Our system is saving advisors 10 hours a week. Let's do the math. That's a week a month, dude.
So 10 hours a week is what you're saving the advisor?
Yeah, there's a bunch of benefits to this. One is time saved. And the second one is,
what is something an advisor should be doing marketing-wise this year to make sure that they're staying on the right track and ahead of the curve over the coming 5 years?
Open up your ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you're using and ask it that question. So I will say, hey, if your mind isn't blown by the answer, you didn't ask the question that I just told you to ask.
What are some of the biggest mistakes advisors are making when it comes to communication today?
Your clients and prospects will sell themselves if you just shut up.
That's the one thing that'll probably separate an advisor into becoming a great advisor.
Not just going to make you a great advisor, it's going to make you a better human.
Systems work, people fail. Welcome to InsureMark's Advisor Mentorship Podcast with Vice President Jeremy Houser.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Advisor Mentorship Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Houser. And boy, as Q1 has wrapped up and Q2 is well on its way here for 2026, we got a lot here going on for the advisors, especially around building businesses. Everybody wants to know about marketing. I mean, that's one of the biggest opportunities for advisors, especially here in their business, is those that also have sub-advisors. How do we feed those advisors with new faces to have conversations with? So I figured I'd bring on an older guest who's been on the show at least once now. He's got a new jersey that he's wearing, but Matt Halloran, who is the chief evangelist of Zox. How are we doing?
I am very well. It's nice to see you again, dude.
It is good to see you. So I'm enjoying the opportunity to catch up a little bit with you, but also to chat. A lot of the audience who listens, they've seen you on stage within our company. They've seen you for the last 5 or 6 years. They've followed you within Proudmouth. A lot of them just want to know what's going on. So what's the latest with Matt? Can you give us a quick little recap of where you're at and what you're up to?
Yeah. So everything that Kirk and I built at Proudmouth was tested on me, right? So all of the influence techniques that we wanted to bring to, like you as a client of ours, we wanted to go ahead and see if it actually physically worked. Well, it worked, and it worked really, really well, because technically my new job is I am the influencer for Zox. So I have built through reputation, through content marketing, through appearing on other people's podcasts, speaking on stages, enough of a name that a company decided that I was going to be one of the faces of their multi-billion dollar company. So,
is that a new number?
It is. I like kabillion because then I'm not being very specific on how much it's worth, but it still sounds like a lot. So. Yeah.
And so honestly, and like I told you earlier, I know the name because obviously I've seen you on LinkedIn and other places. What is Zox? So what exactly is that company?
So Zox is an AI assistant. And so everything started in the AI world for financial advisors a couple of years ago with note taking. And we are a non-recording note taking solution. So what we have found, not we, the people that consult with us found that high net worth and ultra high net worth do not want Zoom recordings. They do not want to be recorded, no audio, no video, because that actually can be part of discovery if there's ever a suit. So we're a live transcription service, which is a huge, huge difference. And Jeremy, that's the foundation of everything else we've built. But the cool thing is we do two-way integration with your financial planning tool, with your tax tool, with your CRM, with other programs that you use to run your financial services practice. And we can also help fill out new client paperwork, and we can help update a financial plan from a normal conversation, and we can fill out documents and assess documents. Like you upload stuff and the AI will look at it and say, oh, Jeremy, this is your 2025 tax return. And here are the things that we found in the tax return that you should probably address.
So which one specifically is it which AI tool is being leveraged with y'all services? Or
all of them,
okay.
Right? So we have built a proprietary interface, and we actually choose between the big three from a note-taking AI perspective, from the live transcription perspective. And we actually, that's all proprietary on how they make the decisions, how we interface, but it's all PPIs removed. It's really cool, actually. So you have a conversation, Jeremy, you and I are having a conversation. Your name, my name, social security number, address, all of the PPI stuff that terrifies compliance, it's all removed before it is sent to the transcription service, and then it is put back together using our proprietary system. Man, you should. I'm actually going to Hungary. So we're one of our founders was here in the States for a long time, but he's Hungarian. He's like, well, hell, I own this company. I'm going back home. And so our dev team is overseas in Hungary. It's deep. I don't even know how many people it is now, but we have so many full-time programmers. There is a huge difference, Jeremy, between using a program, like a piece of software, like what we've built here at Zox, and your own personal GPT, because you have to be able to prompt your own personal GPT with really good prompts to have it output, because it's garbage in, garbage out. That's how the programming works. Where we actually have so many people who all they do all day is program our system to make it so that it knows advisors and will spit out stuff on the back end that actually is beneficial to advisors.
Wow. I mean, especially around the programming part, because I've started to see, I mean, that's where the world is right now. It seems like you got to have a lot of people to, everything needs to be coming in faster. You got to have a lot of opportunity, especially in the financial services industry, where there's just a lot of data to collect, and people are just so used to Amazon and that box being shown up on their doorstep in 4 hours. So I'm sure their financial decisions and making those needs to be rapid too. So is it only financial advisors, or who all for Zox, or how?
So we work in financial services overarching, but we do P&C firms, we do insurance, we do financial planners, RIAs, broker dealers, wirehouses. We don't really work a lot in banks right now, just because banks are wildly antiquated. But so that umbrella is where we live.
Well, that's good. And I mean, so from your seat especially, so that's pretty cool. Actually, congratulations. That sounds awesome. Actually,
thanks,
to be able to live out the entertainment dream of
that's it. I have wanted to become an influencer in financial services since I started in 2006, and it only took me 20 years. So yeah, I wish it could have been faster, but part of it also was, Kirk and I were building Proudmouth. I ran my own business beforehand. In fact, Jeremy, one of the biggest things is I'm an employee now. Like, dude, I haven't been an employee for 20 years, almost 20 years. And so it's, that's kind of a shift for me, but it's a big relief, right? I mean, a lot of your people who are listening to this, they know that grind. Well, I know you know that grind, right? You're putting 60, 70 hours a week. That's just the life you live. I'm not doing that anymore, right? And because I have a very, very specific job description that's very narrow, and, I do it very well, and I'm very efficient at it. I built all of the systems, and I mean, Kirk and I helped build those systems years ago, and now I'm really putting them into play.
North American has redesigned their award-winning Secure Horizon suite of FIAs to be more resilient in volatile markets. And effective March 10th, they added the S&P 500 Distance Stabilizer Index. This measures volatility over multiple recent time periods, which allows for flexibility to navigate short-term spikes and increase exposure during subsequent market rebounds. It aims to track the pure S&P 500 without a fixed volatility target, bonds, or commodities. It's available on the 1 year, the 2 year, and also their very popular laddering strategy. They have also recently added the straight S&P 500 annual point-to-point cap strategy to this suite of products. Not that commissions are important, but North American is also running a 1% commission on all of the Secure Horizon FIAs effective March 1st. When is the end date of this special, you may be asking? Well, at this point, there is no end date. So take advantage of this opportunity now. For more information on the North American suite of products, feel free to go to www.insuremarkamp.com/jhouser and click on Learn More. So, I mean, especially in the advisory front. So if you were an advisor listening today And if you were to just finish the sentence of, it's, let's just say 2 years from now. So in 2028, I grew my business substantially over the last 2 years because I did what? What would that advisor say?
I mean, everybody's going to be saying that it's implementing AI into your practice. And that's not just because I work here, and I'm being brutally honest. It's because those efficiencies. So what happens with your advisors? So a new client comes in, you have to fill out the new client paperwork. And then what you end up having to do is then you have to go to your financial planning tool, your tax planning tool, your insurance planning tool. You got to put it in your CRM. You have to put it in all of these different places. What happens if you could have it go to all of those places with one conversation? So the Ezra Group, which is a big tech consulting group here in financial services, and two other companies, Carson and RFG, really did a big study on people using Zox. They found that our system is saving advisors 10 hours a week of what we call invisible work. Let's do the math. That's a week a month, dude. So at the top of the show, Jeremy Houser said, if you guys weren't paying attention, how are we going to go ahead and feed all of those junior advisors coming up? How are we going to keep you fed? You just saved a week's worth of time not doing all of the stupid repetitive work that you all hate, by the way, and not to be mean, you're not very good at, because humans make mistakes. Look at this thing behind Jeremy's, you guys have all seen it. Systems work, people fail. So if I have to give that piece of paperwork to my assistant to put into 4 different places, the probability of a mistake being made, and you all know this, is very, very high. But if you can have a tool that is only built for advisors that can go ahead and populate all of that stuff off of one piece of input, accuracy is incredible. So what would they do? Number one, they're going to implement AI. They're going to connect all of their services to that AI. Number 3, what they're going to do is they're going to take that time and start doing some old school stuff. They're going to start networking. They're going to start taking their clients out to lunch. They're going to start doing client events again. They're going to start hanging out with their centers of influence. Those are tried and true. Jeremy, I just at a little LAMP conference a little while ago. And everybody's like, oh, what do we do about organic growth? Everybody's, what's going on? Yeah, no, the same stuff has always worked. It's about building relationships. Now, content is king, video is king. You still have to do all of that too. But don't forget about the shaking hands and kissing babies, man, because that stuff works.
1000%. And that's where, one of the recent guests, I had Molly Pierce. You know Molly? Track that advisor. So her team did a study. It was like 150 advisors last year. And overwhelmingly, out of the 8 billion of assets they moved, and based off the data, so roughly 50% of that business that was actually moved last year, money in motion, came from, I want to say it was like 34% was just current client wallet share. So they're just getting more money. And then 16%, it's like 15.8 or something, came from what you just said, is basically getting client referrals. And so it goes back to, so if I heard you correctly, so your team, so Zox, and just in general, right? So if you have all these different systems to be in place for 10 hours a week. So 10 hours a week is what you're saving the advisor. Those people are growing, or they're able to now focus their time more on the personal touches and actually getting in front of clients. That's what they're doing with their time.
It's so there's a bunch of benefits to this, and I'm not going to highlight all of them. I'm really going to highlight 2 of them. One is time saved. Okay. 1,000,000%. And the second one is actually having better client meetings, because what our system does is it will do all the prep work for you. It allows you, since you don't have to take notes during the meeting, and it listens purely to the words without any of the filters. Now, many moons ago, this was off air, you and I were having a deep philosophical, psychological conversation, which you and I have had many times in our relationship. And one of the things that happens is when you listen through filters. My background is actually as a therapist and a life coach. I've been doing this for a long time. And so you also see the world through filters. AI doesn't do that. When we're sending it to the transcription service, it is purely transcribing what is being said. And here's the deal. You miss stuff, and we don't miss it. We pick it up. So anyway, so you're going to be able to be more present during client meetings. And then within minutes, and I'm not exaggerating, within minutes, the follow-up notes are already done. The summary of the meeting's already done, and the tasks are already done within minutes. And so when you look at really being able to deepen a client relationship, I'm going to digress and tell you a story. You know, I'm a storyteller. This is my favorite story that I've heard from one of our salespeople. His name's Rex, even though he's going to want royalties for the story because I tell it a lot. So a younger advisor was taking over from the senior advisor. Senior advisor was phasing out, and the biggest client was coming in, and the younger advisor was really nervous. And so she sees the client come in. The client comes in. And he looks really distraught. And she's like, hey, what's going on? He said, my daughter, name of the daughter's favorite chicken, named the chicken, is in the hospital and she's really worried. So, the advisor was like, oh, okay, freaking chicken's in the hospital, right? You're just kind of, I have a lot of stuff I have to cover with this, super big client of mine that I'm trying to take over. So Zox on the back end of it said, as a suggestion, because we do this, send a care package to the daughter with the daughter's name for the chicken named the chicken. And the advisor was like, okay, I'm just going to do that. So she sent a care package to the biggest client's daughter it was a chicken care package, which, by the way, I guess you can buy those nowadays. As a person with chickens, I didn't know that. Not only did she totally win over the primary, she also won the daughter. And it's that sort of level of detail that we focus on because we processed, this is an insane number, we have processed over 2 million client meetings. 2 million.
Wow.
And we're always honing, all those engineers in Hungary are always honing it to make it even better. So those are the two big things, right? The fact that your prep's going to be done and the fact you're going to be fully present during meetings. Those are the two huge things that I want advisors to think about when they're implementing AI into their practice.
I love that. Are y'all like, so CRM friendly? Anyone that you're, who are you linked to already?
Almost everyone. I think there's one that a lot of people have wanted us to do, and we're just in negotiations. Like Redtail, Smart Office, all of the Microsoft-y products, all pretty much whatever. Yeah.
Very good. I like that Rex story, and I didn't realize I must have forgotten you had chickens.
Yes, I do have chickens. Yeah.
So care package for chickens. Got it. As a financial professional, balancing income needs today with planning for tomorrow is not easy. That's where Talcott Financial Group comes in. New name, proven strength, built on decades of experience and backed by over $126 billion with a B of assets. With Everguard Assurance 10, you can deliver competitive guaranteed income through Early Path for income now or Future Path for income later. Stronger income, clear choices. Talcott Financial Group is built for what's next. See talcott.com/resources for more information. That's Talcott, TALCOTT.com/resources. So it is, so we go back. So obviously Jack brought you into our lives. So that was years ago. And then, so been doing podcasting thanks to your team, well, former team, but your team, Proudmouth since 2021. So as I look back, that's almost 5 years.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. And so really, I think where the world is, where the world was back then, where it is today, the landscape's a little different. So your team was really on that cutting edge of, how do we, those conversations I have with advisors, what sells for you when you're not there? Best way to leverage, I've used your phrase a lot, is getting people in their quiet time. So that's where it's very important. So you, Matt Halloran, what's like the next 5 years? So what is something an advisor should be doing marketing wise this year to make sure that they're staying on the right track and ahead of the curve here over the coming 5 years?
Video is king, brother. And that's, and in fact, I'm going to hearken back to you applying nice, direct and consistent pressure to us here at Proudmouth, because you were one of the main reasons why we moved as strongly as we did to video. Because we knew you wanted it and we knew our other top clients wanted it. But this is a level of engagement and commitment that you have made. I mean, 5 years, dude, that's amazing. Not a lot of advisors don't want to make that level of commitment. So here's what they need to do. And I want every one of your listeners to do this every single solitary week.
Mm-hmm.
I just got out of a meeting with a client. So for those of you who are just listening, I'm holding up my phone and I'm pretending to shoot a video, right? That is the greatest content you're ever going to shoot. And here's why. 1, it's fresh. 2, you're not overthinking it. 3, you're going to say something that will probably resonate with your clients and prospects because you just met with one of them, right? Now, there's a second part to this that is very, very important, which is you can't just post and ghost it. You also have to know exactly what social media platform your ideal target market's on. And Jeremy, you and I have talked about this before. I talk about this a lot. Everybody immediately thinks it's just LinkedIn. It's not. If you're looking at anybody who's a millennial, maybe like a middle millennial and younger, you got to be on Instagram and you got to hit Insta hard. Reels. Every day, every 2 or 3 days, whatever you can manage, Instagram is king. I know advisors right now who filled up their entire pipeline just from Instagram. Now, if you're going for a little bit older, tech heavy, high earners, you got to be on X, right? If you're looking at grandparents and older people, Facebook is key, right? And if you're not doing Facebook ads with those videos, you're missing out on an enormous amount of revenue and enormous amount of new prospecting opportunities. Now, LinkedIn is still fantastic. You have to be there, but if your ideal target market doesn't live there, then you need to go ahead and here's the fun part. I'm going to be really dorky here. Open up your Chat GPT or Claude or whatever you're using and ask it that question. Now, mine has a name. We're not going to get into that because we don't have time. But her name is Avor. It's a long story. I'll tell you over drinks sometime. But Avor, so I will say, hey, Avor, I'm a financial advisor in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is where I live. I want to attract, keyword, attract this specific. I want to attract ophthalmologists who are 40 years old and above. I want to know what social media platforms they are on regularly. And this is the other big question. What questions are they asking the internet? And hit enter. And if your mind isn't blown by the answer, you didn't ask the question that I just told you to ask.
So I couldn't agree more, especially for, it's almost like you've seen some content or something like the last 2 months or so, literally. That's a big conversation in 2026. Advisors are wanting to do more of a digital footprint. It seems like the next 20 years, you got so much money that's in motion. I think you're spot on about the Instagram thing. I actually, going back early 2025, or maybe it was I forget now. I think it was just 2025. I just started to do Instagram. I just never did it just because, you ask my wife, who knows what's on Instagram. So I just never got into all that. But in the same breath, so literally my only follower is basically, or the only person I follow is my wife, because it's like going to Instagram. The main goal here is get content out, get that there, and then don't get distracted. It's like you want to get out of the warp of the streaming or the scrolling world. But that's where a lot of millennials, Gen X, they're there too. Younger generation for sure. The Gen Z and younger, they're all on Instagram. So advisors are now starting to do a lot more short form content. Our team is starting to put together a whole lot of streamlining processes. So advisors just send raw videos to us. We create the raw videos of the shorts, or if not shorts, we'll do like long formats as well too. Because YouTube, one of the stats I saw on like SQ magazine, like one of these rare like articles last year, that the average consumer on YouTube is on YouTube 30 hours a month. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. That's 1 hour a day in YouTube. Yeah. So advisors are starting to now do a little more do a little more landscape formatting, horizontal, so they can actually have long form. But Here's the challenge, which Matt, the human mind today, their mindset is just shifted to, okay, in order for us to watch the long form content that the advisor maybe put together, everybody needs that dopamine. So they need to start creating that short form. So what have you seen? So you said like an advisor y'all are working with or y'all have seen filled up their calendar with Instagram. So literally, how long are those reels that they're doing?
Yeah, they're 30 to 60 seconds, and they are really driving to longer form content. There's his name's Dave, and I just spaced on his last name. Last name starts with a Z. Dave Zoller, maybe.
Okay.
So he's a financial advisor, and he's built his entire practice on YouTube. And so Instagram reels are the key. That's the key. 1,000,000%, no questions asked. Make sure that you're going ahead and using reels. On YouTube, you do want the long form content, but you also, for every piece of long form content, you need to have 3 to 5 pieces of short form content based off of that long form content. And you're right. It's just dopamine hits. They're like little hooks that you're getting into the fish that you're trying to go ahead and reel in. And they're very, very powerful. Now, you cannot write the same content for Instagram, for X, for Facebook, and for LinkedIn that in YouTube. You cannot have it all be the same because just so you know, search engines now, in this first happened, I think, with Instagram, and then LinkedIn was number 2. But when you Google things, it's actually searching the internet. It's searching social media. And so if all of your posts are exactly the same, the internet just thinks it's AI crap and blah, 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 get it out.
Interesting.
So you have to custom write for each of those profiles or for each of those platforms. But yeah, YouTube shorts are unbelievably powerful. And we just upgraded to YouTube Premium in my house because we spend an enormous amount of time on YouTube because I can find really super highly niched out fun stuff that I like to binge watch. My wife has been watching those acrylic pour videos. Have you seen those where they make the art with the pouring of the? Yeah, dude. And so, she
like
subscribed
to pottery. Is that what you're talking about? Or
no, it's just like pouring acrylic paint onto a canvas and then kind of moving it around.
Oh, they spin it or something.
Yeah,
got it. Yeah.
Yep. And so I can't find that on HGTV, right? I can't find that on NBC. I find it on freaking YouTube. So I think YouTube is going to be putting a lot of people out of business. I mean, I don't know, they already are, but I think they're going to be putting a lot of people out of business. And again, when you ask the question that I said to ask before, which is, what is that ideal target market searching for on the internet? If you're the one answering those questions, your SEO goes up and your AI search tools, AIO, go up too.
Rev it up. A powerful new way to help clients start strong is here. Introducing Bonus Rev, the new fixed index annuity from Revel One Financial, featuring 2 premium bonus options designed to boost accumulation value from the start, subject to a vesting schedule. The core premium bonus rider offers up to 16% premium bonus applied to the initial accumulation value, or choose the max premium bonus rider with up to a 22% premium bonus for an even stronger start. The max premium bonus has an annual product fee of 0.95% of the accumulation value. Bonus Rev also includes, get this, the index lock rider, giving clients the ability to lock in index performance with manual or automatic lock options as markets change. Stay strong, stay nimble, don't idle. For more information on Bonus Rev from Revel One Financial, go to www.insuremarkamp.com/J Houser and click on Learn More. I want to drive that home though. So that is something that's worth noting is a lot of financial professionals are now starting to just dip their toe or trying to figure it out. And that's the good news. There's a lot of groups out there. I mean, literally if the process advisors will just send us their raw video. Our team puts it together within like 2 to 3 days. And then all of a sudden it's like they have content. So going back to what you said, content's king. But it's so challenging. It's so challenging to get in front of the camera. So a lot of people just don't naturally want to do that. So great advice of what you said of just like, hey, just talk. Just literally talk about how your just client event or your client meeting just went and just let the rest take care of itself. And programmers are very necessary nowadays. So as you
make a friend with a programmer, because that's only going to help you.
So if we're staying on, the theme and present time, so marketing tactics, we talked a little bit about that. But something that I think is unique of how you approach things and how your conversation is on podcast and social media, communication. You wrote a book about it. So what are some of the biggest mistakes advisors are making when it comes to communication today?
Dude, we don't have that much time left. You just dropped like a huge bomb question. Okay, I'll keep it super short.
Well, that's why you got your book, right? So
yeah,
okay, there you go.
All right, yeah, so you need to plug the book then. So they'll read. Okay, so here's the thing: you all talk too much. That if I could give you one piece of advice, the title of my book is "Shut the F Up and Listen," and you have to just stop talking. Your clients and prospects will sell themselves if you just shut up. Stop trying to look so smart. Stop trying to be the smartest person in the room. Make them the smartest person in the room by listening to them and actually listening, not just trying to go ahead and do active listening, which is okay, yep, I hate that stuff. That's performative. What I teach in my book is engaged listening, which is how you actually ride up alongside of that client or prospect or center of influence and truly make them feel that there's a connection there. And and a lot of you are like, well, I make that connection all the time. No, you don't, because you can't connect while you're talking. You can only connect when you shut up. And so if there's one magic thing that I could say, and we do this is weird that you brought that up because I don't really talk about this a lot. But when you use our transcription service, our note-taking service, you get a client sentiment score. It's in the upper right-hand corner of our software. And it will tell you, Jeremy Houser, how much you talked during that meeting. And if you're talking more than half the time, you have to shut up.
It's the truth. And actually, I love that about some of these AI tech things, and especially so advisors that have junior advisors or if they have teammates, it's a great way to at least, hey, have tough conversations by just showing the data of like, hey, so what wrong? Well, what do you think went wrong during that conversation? And then you show them that 35% was basically the client talking, then you talk 65. It's like, why didn't they move forward? I don't know. So
they didn't feel heard. That's why.
So going back to, on that communication part, because I think that's something that as tech continues to evolve, innovation keeps pushing us forward, AI, then you got all these younger people that like, it's not like, the people that are in the baby boomer generation, which they're embracing and they're using these tools. And sometimes it's just system overloads too much, like too much is going on. But some of the younger people that are going to be inheriting this money here over the next 20 years, like they're growing up and they're used to all this stuff. Do you ever think there's going to be a time where people see that how fast you get stuff back from somebody? Not that it's just expected, but like it's just AI. It's not personal. Can you kind of talk about that?
Well, I think it can be AI and personal. Tell you another quick story. This is from another one of our salespeople here. This female advisor was up against 3 other advisors, and this couple came in and had already met with the 3 other advisors, and she was the last one. Like we always hear that, right? Oh, you're the last person I'm meeting with. Okay, well, whatever, probably not. By the time that client prospect got home, the summary was done. The tasks were done. What she wanted them to do and what she was willing to do for them was done. And this is really the super cool thing about some of the two-way integrations we have. A basic financial plan structure had already been built before the prospect got home. Now, what happens is Zox will spit all of this stuff out for you, and then you have to look at it, right? You have to read it, and you have to make sure that it's good because, again, that's compliant, right? You have to read it. You can't just hit send. So the people got home. They were home for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. They open up their email. Here's this beautifully crafted on-brand email from this advisor, and they called her up. How did you do that? Well, part of my process is I have systems in place to make sure that I can get you very timely responses, because it seemed to me that you were ready to get moving with the person who you seemed to fit with. And I felt we had a good fit. I just wanted to get this to you quickly. This is the standard at my firm. And the person on the other end of the phone said, the other 3 advisors that we talked to, we haven't even heard back from them yet. that is the speed in which you have to start performing. And this is going to sound mean because I know some of your advisors are a little bit older. But if you're not implementing these efficiencies in your practice, you are a dinosaur, and AI is the meteor that's coming to kill you, because AI is never going to replace the advisor. I'm very, very clear about that. It's never going to replace the advisor. It's still all about relationships. It will always be about relationships. But if you are taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks to be able to get back to people because you're so busy, which is a load of crap, you're losing business, because I'm going to have the efficiencies in place. I'm going to get back to you within 24 hours, if not less, with meaningful information that shows you I was listening. Jeremy, that's the key. That's the key to the future. And this old Luddite sort of, I don't even like my email. You're dead, dude. You just hang it up. Just quit, because you are a dinosaur that is dying. You're actually dead yet. You just haven't realized it yet. And if you are that person, you need to either sell your practice quickly or bring in a junior who's going to take over for you, because you aren't going to exist. This is moving way faster. The iterations we're having in AI within months is what used to take tech years to be able to do, because AI knows how to make AI better, and it's only getting smarter, faster, stronger, better.
Let me ask you something. When a prospect Googles your name, do they immediately see why they should choose you? Or do you look like every other advisor? That gap is called the authority trust gap. Mike Saunders, Amazon bestselling author of Authority Domination, created Advisor Authority AI, a custom AI tool trained on his book that builds your personalized 12-step authority positioning blueprint in just 15 minutes. No guesswork, no fluff, just a clear path to becoming the category of one in your market. Get your blueprint today at www.authoritytrustgap.com. Or also learn more about the full done-for-you authority positioning package Mike provides for our advisors at www.authoritypositioningcoach.com/InsureMark. So tell us how you really feel.
Come on, dude. You knew I was going to be like this when I came on your show, brother.
So so everything you said is, pretty spot on. Because honestly, especially that part right there about how fast AI has moved the puck forward for especially the financial services industry, it moves very slow. And actually, we've seen embracement. We've even seen tech of just insurance companies now that are starting to do a lot of other things, especially on the tech side, that's helping them now process business faster. I know the number one distributor of FIAs is looking to make it as simple as trying to get basically a annuity purchasing process, like you're going and opening up an account at Chase Bank. So I know that this is only good for customers as we continue to push it a little further. But something you did mention for advisors specifically. So those that are, where do they even start, right? So how do they get going, embracing? So talk a little bit about like what habits should they start to incorporate in order to maybe implement some form of AI into their business?
So I get asked this question all the time, especially being the chief evangelist for Zox, right? Is what are some of the iterative steps in order for me to go ahead and do this? And the first thing is you need to look at your tech stack. All right. Before you make any AI decision whatsoever, look at your tech stack and then look at the AI solutions that are out there that actually really integrate with your tech stack. Now, shameless promotion, we integrate with almost everything you guys integrate with, because we not only have lived in the RIA world, but we're deep in insurance and annuities, right? That's something that was very important to our organization. Actually, it's one of the reasons I came here was because, and Jeremy, you know this, I am a huge believer in annuities. I'm a huge believer in life insurance, personally and professionally, because it is the right thing for your clients. I'm going to quote Jack Martin here real quick, because I was listening to one of his shows, that if you explain the features of an annuity to a client, 80% of them want it. The minute you use the word annuity, that gets cut in half, right? And thanks to Ken Fisher, that schmuck, for that. But anyway, so look at your tech stack. That's number one. Number two, get your own AI. So get Claude, get GPT, get Copilot, use Gemini. I don't really think Grok is that great, not to be a dick, but I just don't like it. I don't like the interface. And so find an AI that you like the interface. Really, you're going to choose Gemini. I'm sorry, you're going to probably Copilot, ChatGPT, or you're going to use Claude. So those are the big three that I think most of your people are going to use. Start playing with it in a non-compliant, non-advisor way. Just ask it questions. Ask it the question that I prompted you with earlier about the ideal target market in Kalamazoo, Michigan, looking for optometrists who are this age and what are they looking for? Start asking it questions. But the other thing you need to do is don't make an AI decision without testing things side by side. And so we offer a 14-day free trial for every one of your listeners right now. They go to Zox.io/MattGPT. They're going to be able to go ahead and get a 14-day free trial. I mean, you can really just go to the website and do the same thing, but that's my landing page. So, hey, listen, it's all about tracking and making sure this, but anyway, so get a 14-day free trial. And if you're trying us or some of our competitors, test us side by side and really see which one you like. And that's where your decision needs to be made. It's not a decision on cost because we all cost about almost exactly the same amount, but really take a look at it and start dipping your toe in that water. Tech stack first, your own personal AI second, then do a free trial third.
The ECI Plus product series from the Standard might be the best kept secret in the FIA industry today. With multiple surrender options, guaranteed crediting rates, an A-plus carrier rating, along with leading commission levels and the best bonus commission program in the annuity space, ECI Plus is worth a solid look. Particularly attractive is the 9.25% guaranteed trigger rate on the S&P 500 Dynamic Intraday TCA Index. The trigger rate cannot change over the 7-year term, so no negative renewal conversations, and all the index has to do is show positive growth for the 9.25% trigger to credit each year. For more information on this product series through the Standard, go to www.insuremarkamp.com/jhouser and click on Learn More. You know, actually, surprisingly, as a millennial, it's kind of sad. I don't even know. I've seen Claude everywhere. It seems like that's the buzzword. So it's almost like, what's the government really pushing at us? I don't know. But what is it? Like, I honestly don't even know. What does Claude do?
Yeah, so it's a large language model. So basically what it does is you ask it questions, and the best way for me to explain it, it's the largest brain you've ever had access to in human history. So that's the foundation that Claude and GPT and all of them are built on, right? Okay. So I use it for marketing ideas. I use it for...
So is that like a Perplexity GPT like alternative, basically? That's all it is, or does it do more?
Claude does way more.
Okay.
So you can upload projects into Claude where you can have all of your disclosures and disclaimers, all of your graphic design, logo, brand standards, samples of your email communications that you've used previously. And then you can go in and say, hey, and I'm just going to call my Claude Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy, I just had this client meeting. Can you please create a follow-up letter, a PowerPoint presentation, a tax analysis, and a thank you letter that'll go out in 3 weeks after the first letter will go out. Enter. And it will build that for you. I mean, all of it. Like, there's the PowerPoint, click here, download, here's a letter. Do you like this? Here's the other cool thing to do. Do you like the sound of this letter or this letter? Because if you choose this letter, it remembers that you like the voice in this letter. So it will write in that voice in the future. So that's really what you have access to.
How fast do you get that?
Well, fast. It also depends on what level you have, because obviously they want to make money. So I have something called the Now What Marketing series. So now that advisors have these 10 hours a week back, part of my job here at Zox is to tell you what you should do with that 10 hours, right? So, and I don't talk just about business building. I talk about, being a better human, working on your faith, working on your mental health. I talk about it all. So I shot my video this morning. I uploaded the transcript to my AI, and I said, write me an optimized LinkedIn post, an optimized YouTube post, optimized Instagram, optimized X, and then create the the thumbnail image for me. Enter. 20 seconds.
Really?
And it's not just good, Jeremy. It's great. It's great because it's got all of the appropriate hashtags. It is infused with all of the keywords that advisors are looking for on each of those different platforms, because I've been building it over time. So that's why I want step number 2 is I want people to really start putting stuff into their own AI, because it learns the Jeremy-ness, the Mattness,
Sure,
and it starts replicating that Mattness.
Interesting. Well, that's why I brought you on. I learned something.
I'm glad I can still help you out, man.
You would think I would know. I constantly see it. But it goes back to just like the listener, probably. We just don't have time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just have all these new things, like you got to do this just because everybody else is doing it. And you're like, well, I don't want to look at that yet. But based off what you just described, that's probably worth looking at. That's interesting. And so I like to hear that about the success with the new company. So Zox, I think as we're probably wrapping up here, a lot of good insight, especially around advisors. The book, by the way, so for your book specifically, what's the title again?
It's called Shut the F Up and Listen.
And that one right there, you would say for communication purposes, that's the one thing you think for advisors today should be, regardless of tech, regardless of innovation that comes in, that's the one thing that'll probably separate an advisor into becoming a great advisor, is just doing that, communicating better.
Not just going to make you a great advisor, it's going to make you a better human.
How so? I like that.
How so? Well, because everybody wants to feel heard. Everybody right now is just yelling at each other and getting even more and more angry that the person that they're yelling at isn't listening. And so it just escalates. That's the problem with this country, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, right? What happens in real life, not the crap that you see online, what really happens in real life is people making eye contact and having an actual conversation. I have had heated conversations get relaxed. I can't think of the word right now. The whole conversation just gets so much easier to have when I just shut up. And so I teach 7 different types of engaged listening in the book. And if you implement any of them, you are going to be a better husband, father, wife, spouse, father, son, daughter, sister. You're going to be a better human being because everybody just wants to be heard. And my grandmother, I opened the book with this. My grandma said, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk. And I firmly believe that.
Literally, I live by that exact same expression. That's funny. Not funny. It's actually true. So
it's true. Yeah. We had smart grandparents.
That is, that's good. No, good for you. I like that. And that's literally, the better we can be as human, you would anticipate the world just gets better one day at a time. It just
gets better, man.
Anything as we wrap up that we miss as we're closing out here?
No, I think we covered a lot of territory. Shameless promotion. Follow me on LinkedIn if you're not already doing it, because I create content just like this every single solitary day. And make sure you go to the next conference that Jeremy's got going on, because they really bring in some great people that can really help you, again, not just have a better practice, but have a better life.
Appreciate that. You're the only one that wears red shoes, though. So you will always have, you'll always have that. No, thanks for jumping on. It was good catching up with you, and thank you to the listener for tuning in to this week's episode of the Advisor Mentorship Podcast. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite listening device, and make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Jeremy Houser AMP, and follow us on LinkedIn. And as you share this episode with a friend and a colleague, remember, in a world full of betas, be an alpha.